Well, hello there, my friend. I almost forgot my microphone. Hello. Good to see you. I'm Gavin. This is my channel. This is a true crime channel. We like to cut through the fluff and sensationalism of true crime, get into the nitty-gritty of things. But over the next couple of days, we're going to be continuing to watch the victim impact statements that are so powerful, so moving. So far they have been anyway. In the hearing, the sentencing hearing for Mr. Bryan Kohberger. Mr. Kohberger has pleaded guilty and has been convicted and sentenced to the killing of 4 University of Idaho students who died November 13th, 2022. They were 20-year-olds Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin, and 21-year-olds Madison Mogan and Christy Gonzalez. I think most of us know this case pretty darn well. Here's Mr. Kohberger. We're not going to look at him all that much because I can't stand it. But anyway, so far, the amount of courage that we've seen on display, the amount of grace, the amount of dignity and wisdom that we've seen so far from these families of these kiddos who were senselessly and brutally murdered by Mr. Kohberger back in 2022 has just been amazing. I promised that I would come with a tissue this time. I totally forgot to grab one. So I am using these little Zenny microfiber cloths that came with my new glasses that I can't use because I'm an old man and I need up-close glasses now too. So you're going to see me like wiping my nose every once in a while on one of these. I should have come prepared. But I was chatting with my wife. I hadn't seen her all day. So that's the deal. Hey, before we get into it, have you played the Great 2025 Baby Gavin treasure hunt? Baby Gavin is missing. And he needs your help to find him. He has left 20 clues that need solving. Once you solve them, that you'll find him. And it's fun. Now, all of the grand prize, first prize, second prize have been claimed. I sent out those emails last night to the winners. Well, to the grand and first. I still need to do the second, but they're bouncing on me, guys. So if you are a winner, will you DM me on Facebook? Just head on over, DM, the fish tank. On the fish tank, you can just DM me, okay? And I will respond that way. I will get you your gift codes that way. Because for some reason, my emails are bouncing. I mean, I'm emailing Elizabeth Jones at Hillbilly Crime. It's bouncing. I'm emailing just local folks. They're bouncing. So, yeah, reach out to me and I'll get it to you that way. I'm sorry that I'm having technical difficulties and I haven't been able to address it today because today I was called out to the scene of a homicide here local to me in my day job. So I had to cover that all day. Haven't been able to do it, but we want to get you that merch out so that you can get what you were promised, what you earned by playing the Great 2025 Baby Gavin Treasure Hunt. And I'm noodling around with a couple of ideas for the next time around. Something will maybe make it even more challenging. I want to keep the community aspect of it, but make it more individualized. So I'm thinking about it. All right. I think that's all. Yeah, join us on the fish tank. Play the treasure hunt. Subscribe to Crime Caught. That's my shameless plug. All right, let's head on over here. Now, Maddie's grandma has just finished. We're about 42 minutes into this now. Let's go ahead and continue to see who is next. Here we go.
Now it's been Mogan, Maddie Mogan's father.
Maddie's dad, Ben Mogan.
I'm Benjamin Mogan. I'm Maddie's dad. And first I just I want to say thanks to all the people that helped bring this all to a close. I know it's not the resolution that everyone wanted, but I think that everyone worked so hard, and we really appreciate all their efforts. It was such a hard thing to go through for everybody. Maddie was my only child that I ever had. She was the only great thing I ever really did, and the only thing I was really ever proud of. And
Oh.
I thought we would have the rest of our lives together to be together and know each other, and I really took for granted the times she was in college, and I thought, oh well, we'll have the rest of our lives to
I think I just saw actual movement from Kohberger.
do all the stuff that we're supposed to do, and she was just about done. She actually earned all of her credits for her college degree, and Karen and Scotty and I got to go and get her diploma that she actually earned, and she deserved every bit of that. And but I thought that that was going to be just the beginning of a long life together, and we never got that. Karen and Scotty did such a great job raising her after Karen and I split up, and I'm so thankful for Scotty and the role that he played in her life when I wasn't able to. But we got to spend a lot of great times together, Maddie and I. She was my favorite person to go to a concert with. We got to see some fun shows together, and I told her, if there's ever a show that you want to go to, let me know, and I'll get you tickets for you and your friend, or if we want to go together, we'll make it happen. And we
Wow.
My favorite memory with her was when the Mac Miller show sold out here in Spokane, and everyone wanted tickets, no one could get them, and on the last day before the show, they did a radio thing, and I got 4 meet and greet tickets for Maddie and her friends and me to go and see the show, and that was her favorite artist at the time, was Mac Miller, and he's gone now too. And my little cousin Zach drove us all there that night, and he's gone too, tragically. And anyway, the last thing that she ever wrote to me was this Father's Day card, and I'm so glad it's
Oh
still.
man, this one's already hitting me, guys.
It says, "Happy Father's Day. I hope you have the best day. I can't wait till we can hang out again soon. I'll be in Coeur d'Alene, 6:24 to 7:4. Hopefully we can find a time then. I loved your birthday card that you sent me, by the way. Maybe we can see a concert sometime soon. I'd love to see the gorge when it's not so smoky out. I hope you're doing well. I'm proud of how far you've come. Thank you for always encouraging me to do my best. Love you lots and lots. Love, Maddie May." She did encourage me to not just to do my best, but to live on. I went through a lot of issues with addiction and with substance abuse, and when I wasn't wanting to live anymore, she was what would keep me from just not caring anymore, and knowing that she was out there and that she was just such a beautiful person. Kept me alive a lot of rough moments, and I'm so glad that she was able to meet Jake. He was the only one that actually ever got to take her to the gorge. They went and saw Watershed together, and yeah, they had a heck of a time. I'm just glad she got to. That's a really special place for me, and she always wanted to work out there with me in the summers sometime.
Oh my goodness.
She never got to, but at least she got to see it once with Jake. He was such a great guy. He is such a great guy. And I really wanted to see what a future with them would have looked like.
Guys, I'm not able to boost the audio. I boosted it as much as I could.
I'll never...
I might... Let me try something real quick.
I'll never be able to...
Let's try this.
Replaced her,
Is that any better?
I wrote a bunch of stuff. I just don't know what to say right now. It's that I just miss her so much, and I just love her more than anything. And it shouldn't have happened. And a death sentence is one thing. You know when it's going to happen, and it's going to be all gentle and stuff. But life without parole with a building full of people that all...
Guys, CC is on. I turned it on. If it's not working, it's on YouTube side. I've turned it on. Hopefully that the audio is a little higher now.
Just want you to not be around anymore, winking at every morning, not knowing if that's the day they're going to pull your card. I mean, it's not a very nice sentence either. So, I don't know. I just love you, Maddie, and I wish you were still here.
Thank you so much.
You can tell that was a real effort for him. That I've never experienced the depths of addiction. I'm way more sympathetic to that now than I ever have been, I think. What a terrific little vignette that he drew there for us about how Madeline had to kind of be the grown-up in that relationship sometimes. Tell him how proud she is. Buoy him up, make him feel like he has worth. That was tough. That was tough.
Your Honor, next would be members from the Christy Gonzalez family. First will be her father, Steve Gonzalez.
I've been looking forward to this one. This guy does not mess around, does he? Wow.
Today, we are here to finish what you started. Today, you've lost control. Today, we are here to prove to the world that you picked the wrong families. The wrong state, the wrong police officers, the wrong community. You tried to break our community apart. You tried to plant fear. You tried to divide us. You failed. Instead, your actions have united everyone in their disgust for you. I just learned from these lead investigators, to their shock, they worked in an investigation and actually worked with Pennsylvania police officers and the federal FBI.
Yeah.
You united everyone. Everyone was united after you. None of us are divided. We are united in our disgust and our love for these children. Today you have no name. Because when this all started, we all came together and we said, let's stop even talking about his name and just use initials. So even the media just calls you BK. That's all you are. Looking back when the police officers knocked on my door, told me what happened to my child, told me what happened to Maddie Mae, I don't think he was even out of the driveway before my kids turned around, looked at me and said, "What do we do, Dad?" I told them, "You get to work. You get your ass to work." And we started calling, we started texting, we started emailing. And you know what? Within hours, we had your white car on camera. We knew.
Wow.
We knew from the very beginning we had you. Police officers tell us within minutes they had your DNA, like a calling card. You were that careless, that foolish, that stupid.
Autumn, I don't know if you heard me. He turned toward him.
Master degree, you're a joke. Complete joke. But we took this disaster and we did what we could. We put everything online. We took our kids, we took our images, we took everything that they did, their videos, their photos, the girls' pranks, Ethan singing. We put it out there, we shared it with the world. And the world united. And all they ended up, when they talked about this case, is they talked about Kaylee Jade, Maddie Mae, Xana, and Ethan. Everything what these people meant to us, a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, we shared that with our community. Then we shared it with our state. We shared it with the country, and eventually we shared it with the world. The world's watching because of the kids, not because of you. Nobody cares about you. You're not worth the time, the effort to be remembered. In time, you will be nothing but two initials forgotten to the wind. No visitors, nothing more than initials on an otherwise unmarked tombstone. From this moment, we've all started. From this moment, we will forget you. We want to all leave in closing. One last thing. You picked the wrong family, and we're laughing at you on your trip to the pen. That will be today or tomorrow. I'll close with, God bless all the men and women that worked on this case and all the hard work that you guys did. You guys allowed us to grieve and allowed us to get through this. The amount of work that you guys put together and the way that you guys put it together was beautiful. There was hard times to be expected. But thank you all. God bless.
Thank you.
You know, that's a much different take from him than what we've heard before. Very powerful, some real indignation there. I can understand his position. I can understand the desire to communicate to your daughter's murder that he doesn't matter. I totally get it. I really hope for him and for all the others who spoke that they will be able to somehow heal from this. To me, it feels like Steve especially is a person that probably, kind of like Josh and Sandy Greenberg, was not ready to grieve yet. A person that said, we have work to do, we're going to get this work done. And I have a lot of admiration for people who live their lives like that. That was pretty impressive.
Your Honor, next is Stephen Gonzalez, Kaylee's brother.
Stephen's actually gonna pass. I'm gonna go.
Okay. Olivia Gonzalez, Kaylee's sister.
All right.
Hello. I'd like to start by thanking the court for allowing me the time and opportunity to speak today. My name is Olivia, and I'm the big sister of Kaylee Gonzalez, and I was blessed to love Madison Mogan as a sister too. I'm not here today to speak in grief. I'm here to speak in truth. Because the truth is, my sister Kaylee and her best friend Maddie were not yours to take. They were not yours to study, to stalk, or to silence. They were two pieces of a whole, the perfect yin and yang. They are everything that you could never be. Loved, accepted, vibrant, accomplished, brave, and powerful. Because the truth about Kaylee and Maddie is they would have been kind to you. If you had approached them in their everyday lives, they would have given you directions, thanked you for the compliment, or awkwardly giggled to make your own words less uncomfortable for you. In a world that rejected you, they would have shown mercy. Because the truth is, I'm angry. Every day I'm angry. I'm left shouting at the inside of my own head everything I wish I could say to you. The truth about me is when I heard the news, I didn't cry. I listened for them. I promised them I would, that I would fight for them, that I would show up no matter what it cost me.
This is
I swore I'd never let them feel alone.
This is an intense and impressive family, man.
Because you see, I've always been their heavyweight. I've always been the one to fight the battles they didn't feel ready to fight themselves. All it ever took was a call, and they knew I would handle it for them, no matter the time, no matter the cost. They could wave their white flag because they knew I would never back down, not for them.
She's the heavy. I love it.
And not even death could change that. Somewhere along the line, I started to think about what I would say to them if I was given just one last chance. If I could gather enough heartbreak or love or sacrifice or whatever it took to get just one message across, what would I say? Throughout this entire process, I've written my feelings down at every moment, my wishes, my love, my denial, my anger. And as one final act of love, I'd planned to read these thoughts, even jarring and discombobulating and not even making sense. Because for me, that was true love. As bare and as naked as it could be, not laced in pretty words or dressed for the occasion, but written through bleary eyes at 2 a.m. with clenched fists, angry at this reality. My true final act of love was to continue on without them, for them. That dream to read aloud my love to them, to bring meaning through pain, was the latest blow in realizing you don't deserve it. And Kaylee and Maddie don't need it. Kaylee and Maddie have always known my love, and they would never ask me to prove it by further victimizing myself to a defendant who has shown no guilt, no remorse, no apprehension.
Wow. Good for her, man. Keep going.
They would say to me, "Why would you give the satisfaction of showing vulnerability now? You promised you would never back down." And for that clarity, I'm thankful. I won't stand here and give you what you want. I won't offer you tears. I won't offer you trembling. Disappointments like you thrive on pain, on fear, and on the illusion of power. And I won't feed your beast. Instead, I will call you what you are. Sociopath, psychopath, murderer. I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you. How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper? Did you recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows? Why November 13th? Did you truly think your Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card? How do you find it enjoyable to stargaze with such a severe case of visual snow? Where is the murder weapon? The clothes you wore that night? What did you bring into the house with you? What was the second weapon you used on Kaylee?
Oh.
What were Kaylee's last words? Please describe in detail the level of anxiety you must have felt when you heard the Bearcat pull up to your family home on December 30th, 2022. Which do you regret more? Returning to the crime scene 5 hours later, or never, ever going back to Moscow, not even once, after stalking them there for months? If you were really smart, do you think you'd be here right now? What's it like needing this much attention?
The truth is, go, just keep going. But he was very close to, they would have found him for sure. I think they would have found him. But without that little bit of DNA, I don't think they would have gotten this. He was close. He wasn't smart enough. Because if you think you're smart enough, that's an indication that you're not. So she's telling the truth here. But he almost was, I guess is what I'm saying. He almost was.
Just to feel real. You're terrified of being ordinary, aren't you? Do you feel anything at all? Or are you exactly what you always feared? Nothing. If you're so powerful, then why are you still hiding, defendant? You see, I'm here today as me. But who are you? Let's try to take off your mask and see. You didn't create devastation. You revealed it in yourself. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over. That is your sentence. And it was written on the wall long before you ever pled guilty. You didn't win. You just exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else. Constantly scolding, turning your nose up to grammar mistakes, nitpicking and criticizing others. You wanted so badly to be different, to be special, to be better, to be deep, to be mysterious. You found yourself thinking you were better than everyone else, and you thought you could figure out the human psyche and see through it, all while tweaked out on heroin. Lurking in the shadows made you feel powerful because no one ever paid you any attention in the light. You thought you were exceptional, all because of a grade on a paper. You thought you were elite because your online IQ test from 2010 told you so. All of that effort just to seem important. It's desperate. There is a name for your condition, though. Your inflated ego just didn't allow you to see it. Wannabe. You act like no one could ever understand your mind, but the truth is you're basic. You're a textbook case of insecurity disguised as control. Your patterns are predictable. Your motives are shallow. You are not profound. You're pathetic. You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional. Don't ever get it twisted again. No one is scared of you today. No one is intimidated by you. No one is impressed by you. No one thinks that you are important. You orchestrated this like you thought you were God. Now look at you, begging a courtroom for scraps. You spent months preparing, and still all it took was my sister in a sheath. You work so hard to seem dangerous, but real control doesn't have to prove itself. The truth is, the scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come.
I bet
Stupid,
this stings.
clumsy, Slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your fucking ass. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Wow. Oh. Wow. Yeah, she's a heavy. She's the heavy. Goodness sake. She got an applause in the courtroom. Wow. That's pretty great.
Next is Christy Gonzalez, Kaylee Gonzalez's mother.
Thank you, Your Honor. I never imagined having to speak to someone so devoid of humanity. For a long time, I didn't think I'd find the words low enough to meet you where you are. But now I realize this isn't about you. It's about what you've done to me, and I need you to hear it. When you murdered my daughter, Kaylee Jade Gonzalez, you didn't just take her life, you shattered others. You attacked what you could never be, and in doing so, you left a trail of devastation far beyond that house. You stole my peace. You've altered my every waking moment, every sleepless night, the way I view the world, people, safety, trust. It's all been changed by your cruelty. I no longer recognize parts of myself. Joy is harder to find. Laughter feels foreign. The world moves forward, but I'm suspended in a place of sorrow and rage. You've taken from me something that can never be restored. The grief sits with me every day, some days quietly, and other days so loud it drowns out everything else. The emotional toll you've inflicted on me is immeasurable. I live with a constant ache, with birthdays that are now memorials, with holidays that feel hollow, with empty chairs that scream louder than words ever could. I am forever changed. But for you, as a person working on a PhD in criminal justice, you really didn't think this one through. You're not that good. In fact, you're not that good at anything. You couldn't secure a job. You couldn't get along with others. You couldn't even get a female to look in your direction. All because you are pathetic. Now you're a joke in this courtroom. I wish I could crown you with a jester hat to complete your orange jumpsuit clown look. A dead killer doesn't kill again. So while I'm disappointed the firing squad won't get to take their shots at you, I'm confident that the men in prison will have their way with you in more ways than one. You will finally get what you wanted, physical touch. Just probably not how you were expecting it. See, you haven't beat the system. You've simply entered a new one, where the rules are cruel and the consequences will never end.
I think that one got to him.
You are entering a place where no one will care who you are and no one will ever respect you. You will be forgotten, discarded, used, and erased. You will always be remembered as a loser, an absolute failure. And when those prison doors slam shut behind you, I hope that sound echoes in your heart for the rest of your meaningless days. I hope it reminds you of what we all already know. You're nothing. May you continue to live your life in misery. You are officially the property of the state of Idaho, where your fellow inmates are anxiously awaiting your arrival. But it's okay, because they're there to help you. Hell will be waiting. Quick message from our youngest daughter. Aubrey wanted to say, you may have received A's in high school and college, but you're going to be getting big D's in prison.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I do not approve of prison justice, but I definitely can I definitely can understand how they feel. I can't understand how they feel. That's the point. I can only imagine how they feel. So I'm definitely willing to offer a little grace there. But that was pretty funny. Goodness.
Do we have more from the Gonzalez family, or are you?
Yes. Next would be Shannon Gray, the Gonzalez family attorney. He'll be reading statements from Kaylee Gonzalez's grandmothers.
Morning, Your Honor. Shannon Gray, the attorney for the Gonzalez family. I actually have 3 statements, one from her aunt and 2 from her grandparents. This is from her aunt, Tammy Butts. You, in the cloak of darkness, made a decision to turn our whole family's world upside down forever. You, in the cloak of darkness, took our Kaylee J. Gonzalez away from us all without hesitation. Never have you shown any remorse or regret. We just get creepy, non-expressive stares as you have your team of women defend you. Kaylee was a strong, kind, fun-loving, caring person, and she will greatly be missed by all her family and friends for the rest of our lives. She had goals in life that you took from her and us. We lose on watching her enjoying her life, working hard and building the future she wanted. She was ready to start that after college life. You, in the cloak of darkness, took it all away. You left us without her future wedding, her future children that she would have added to our family.
Yeah.
No more talking to her on the phone, going for a coffee, celebrating holidays. It's all gone.
You know,
You, in the cloak of darkness.
we have our daughter and our son-in-law here for the next few days, and it's such a treat. It's like waiting for Christmas when I was a little kid, waiting for them to come home just for a couple days. And as I'm hearing this statement, like they never get that. They will never get that. They don't ever get to have the anticipation, of our daughter's going to be here in a week or in a month, or what, we're going to meet each other, we're going to go to dinner or drinks or whatever. They never get that ever again. And that is truly heartbreaking. Like, just the little simple pleasures of, we're going to see our girl again. That just clicked to me just right now.
Gave each and every one of Kaylee's family members their own lifetime sentence. You, in the cloak of darkness, also took our Maddie Mae from all of us. She was so genuine, caring, polite. She was part of our family. You came in, harmed our children that were younger women than you in their own beds. You're nothing, you're a coward. It's not right that you have received life. I pray that you meet your end in the cloak of darkness, burn in hell. I have 2 other statements, Your Honor.
See how much the Gonzalez family loved Maddie. It's awfully sweet.
This is Linda Lucan's statement. This is Kaylee's grandmother. I really don't know how to address something so inhumane, but I will try. Nothing in the past 2.5 years has made any sense. All I get is you cowardly went into a home at night, filled with what I'm sure you thought was all sleeping girls, and went on a vicious killing spree for no other reason but to appease your demonic urges. You took my granddaughter Kaylee from us, plus 3 other beautiful lives. You took my granddaughter Kaylee, beautiful, sweet-souled, doll-faced Kaylee, who was getting ready to start her amazing life, who had such a bright future, who was loved by so many, who you were so envious of. She had a life you could never have. You are so beyond human. You're definitely a demon from hell. I truly wish your punishment would be the same death you inflicted on our kids. But I think you will meet some new friends in prison who will be there just to help you. Thumbs up.
They're all feeling all of that. I had it Schadenfreude, I had it like in Technicolor. I don't blame them.
I have one last statement.
That's a regular human emotion.
This is from Cheryl Gonzalez, Kaylee's other grandmother. John 1:5 says, "Light shines in the darkness, and the darkness overcomes it not." Somewhere in your life, some jealousy, envy, ego, something went dark. It pushed out all light until you became dark and evil. And when you saw my granddaughter and her friends, their light, because they have such a light, you couldn't stand it. Because the darkness in you could not stand the light in them. And so you decided to destroy it. Cowardly, you walked into their rooms in the dark and took their lives, hoping to get rid of your darkness.
I wonder if he will ever tell us why. I mean, that does happen. But, yeah, I'd love to know why.
But you didn't. You failed. Because you know what was once a light shown only to their friends, families, and loved ones is now all over the world. Everyone sees it. Their smile, their beauty, their plans, everything they were and had. And you think you put a close to it, even that, but you didn't. Because they still exist. They are still light. They are still beautiful. You can never take that away. They will always be in the light of all eternity. And you will be in the darkness because you could not overcome it. You failed. I want you to be gone, more than gone. I want you to be cast out. Cast out from my life, from my family, from this earth. I will not allow your hatred to penetrate into my own soul. You did not get that power. You are evil, and in the end, evil is eradicated. You didn't take Kaylee's light, you spread it into the world. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. If the are you moving to a different family now? All right, why don't we take a 10-minute recess? All right.
That's a good spot for us, guys. I think that's actually a good spot to stop for the night. We've done the Gonzalez family. We did Maddie's family yesterday, and we will move on and do those in future videos. I have to say, I actually wasn't expecting to feel so sympathetic to the powerful people that stood and looked him dead in the eye and told him where they wanted him to go and what they wanted to happen to him. I try really hard to fight against those feelings and those urges. I don't ever want to feel that myself, but I understand. I felt supportive while I was listening to them say those things. So let's just check a couple more comments that you guys have before we go. Real quick, hugging demons. Some of them demons need hugging. It says, even if BK talked, how much would be truth? Yeah, I was thinking, what was the name of the guy Mindhunter guy. Mindhunter, not Mindhunter. Tall guy, mustache, lived in Santa Cruz, killed his mother. He got to the point, I'm totally blanking on his name, but he got to the point where I felt like he was telling the truth. And I would not mind hearing that from Kohberger. I don't need it now. It can be 20 years from now or never. It's fine. I'm curious. Let's see. Jojo says he has a no contact order against him or any member of any of the families for 99 years. I'm assuming that works both ways. What if he is willing to tell them what happened and why? I don't know if that works both ways. That's Nope says, thank you, Gavin. I feel justice was served from hearing those victim statements. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Ed Kemper. That's who it was. It was Kemper. You guys all know. Look at how many you know. You all know. I think Kemper's pretty fascinating. I thought Mindhunter was a pretty amazing book. And then the other guy I'm thinking of is like Sam Little, right? As an old man, started talking about his victims, and he would tell the whole story. So maybe we will hear that from Kohberger eventually, but I hope that he gets to take some time just being nobody in prison. That's what I hope. I don't wish for him anything that they wish for him, but I understand that they wish that for him. I just am glad that he is out of society and we don't have to think of him all that much ever again. Huggin' Demon says, Kemper did talk a lot, but how much was true? I feel like they get to a point where the incentives align, where there is an incentive, a catharsis that they're exchanging for the truth. But it could have all been lies. Could have been. Let's talk disabilities, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, even if he says why, we won't understand. And none of us should understand, right? Yeah, very, very good. Guys, thanks so much for spending that time with me. You guys have a terrific weekend. We're going to spend our weekend with bits and pieces of it anyway, because there's lots of people who want a little time of our daughter and son-in-law, but we're going to take everything that we can and just enjoy our family. I hope that wherever you are, you get to do the same, and until I see you next time, I bid you adieu, and I hope, and I instruct you, nay, I invite you to take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.